Okay, this is for the 11-2. I'm going to do the check your understanding and number 15 of the lesson practice. Number 8 says 2 triangles each have 2 sides that are 8 feet long and an included angle of 50 degrees. Must the 2 triangles be congruent, and why or why not? So this one is yes, they are congruent because you have 2 sides and 1 angle. Okay, so you have 3 congruent things. And it says that your angle is included in between the 2 sides. So it's the angle between the 2 sides, which means that it's side, angle, side. Number 9 says 2 equilateral triangles each have a side that is 5 centimeters long. Is it possible to conclude whether or not the triangles are congruent? And explain. So for this one, it's kind of tricky because it says each triangle has a side that's 5 centimeters and that's it. In order to prove that you have congruent triangles, you need to have 3 pairs of things that are congruent. The key word here, though, is equilateral. Equilateral means that all 3 sides of the triangle are equal. So by it telling you that one of the sides is 5 centimeters, it's actually telling you that all 3 sides of the triangle are 5 centimeters. And because both triangles have all 3 sides 5 centimeters, this is yes, you do have enough information to say that the triangles are congruent because you can use side, side, side because you have all 3 pairs of congruent sides. Number 10 says the figure shows a circle and 2 triangles. For both triangles, 2 vertices are points on the circle and the other vertex is the center of the circle. Okay, so that's just saying like you have a triangle here, 2 of the vertices, that's just the plural for vertex. Those are on the circle, and then you have one that's the center of the circle. It says, what information would you need in order to to prove that the triangles are congruent? Okay, I already know that these sides, all of these, okay, those 4 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, those are all congruent. So I already have 2 pairs of congruent sides for each triangle. Okay, I know that these are all the same because this is a circle and it's the same distance from the center to the edge of the circle all the way around. Those are all an example of a radius of the circle. If I have these 2 sides, I can say that I have side, angle, side if I know that these 2 angles are congruent. So what information would you need in order to prove that the triangles are congruent? I need to know that these 2 angles are the same. Okay, or I need to know that maybe these side lengths out here are the same. Okay, either one of those would be correct. That kind of goes along with number 15. It says, what one additional piece of information do you need, if any, in order to conclude that triangle ABD, so this one on the left, is congruent to triangle CBD? That's the one on the right. Is there more than one set of possible information? There is. Okay, I already know that this side that's in the middle, okay, this is the same thing. I just drew it over here so I didn't have to write in my book. This side right here is a reflexive side. It's part of the left triangle and the right triangle. Anytime you have something like that, you can mark that as congruent because you know if you separated these 2 triangles, this side would be the same in both triangles. I'm going to mark that one here as well. I have a straight line here, and a straight line is 180 degrees. So if one of the angles is a right angle, meaning 90 degrees, the other one has to be 90 as well. So according to this diagram, I only have 1 pair of congruent angles and then 1 pair of congruent sides. Okay, that's just one side on here, but if I were to separate the triangles, that would be 2 different sides. They're just overlapping in this diagram. Okay, one thing that I could do is the one additional piece of information. If I knew that AD was congruent to CD, okay, this side here, if that was congruent to this side, then I would have side, angle, side. Okay, that's one possible answer. Okay, another one could be if I have this angle and this side, maybe I know that these 2 angles are the same. So if I said angle A was congruent to angle C, That could be one additional piece of information that would prove that the triangles are congruent. But this would give me angle, angle, side. Okay, so there are more than one answer. It just depends on whatever you prefer. Hope that helps.